If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who on earth is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and truly believe, the mind can achieve. Your brain is the most powerful force in your life. It can work for you or against you. The only difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is how they think. Rich people don't just act differently, they think differently. Understand this. If you can see it, you don't need to know every step to get it. Your life changes the moment your mind changes. Thought is energy, and energy moves in frequencies. Get on the frequency of what you want, and eventually it can't help but come toward you. Thinking and growing rich requires intention. Thinking and growing broke requires nothing but neglect. Ask yourself, what separates the winners from the losers? Winners are aware of a place within a higher self, a deeper level of potential. Inside that higher self is an image of perfection, always pressing to express itself more fully. When winners want to turn dreams into reality, they call upon this higher self, and they don't just change their world, they change the world around them. Rich people think differently. So today, I'm placing a rich mindset principle into your head. You don't need another certificate. You don't need another program. You need to change the way you think. Faith and fear are strange twins, both require belief in something you cannot see. There is a method by which failure becomes success. Poverty becomes riches. Sorrow becomes joy. Fear becomes faith. Your thinking shapes your reality. It's not the only factor, but it's foundational. You attract not only what you fear, you attract what you feel, what you are, what you hold in your mind. That's not magic, that's alignment. There is a power greater than poverty, greater than lack of education, greater than fear and superstition combined. The power to take possession of your mind and direct it toward any end you desire. When Kobe Bryant was a kid, he would dream of scoring 80, 90, even 100 points. He would lie in bed at night and visualize everything with vivid precision: the uniform, the arena, the smell of the hardwood, the roar of the crowd. In his imagination, he'd heat up, scoring 20 straight points. Why stop? It was a dream, and in dreams, there's no reason to limit yourself. So he kept going. Before sleep finally came, he might be at 120 points because in imagination you follow the feeling of possibility, not the rules of limitation. Be definite. Believe. Act. When doubt creeps in, remember. Whatever a person believes, they eventually reap. The person living in lack is waiting for wealth before feeling abundant, waiting for success before feeling empowered, waiting for healing before feeling gratitude, waiting for love before feeling loving, waiting for the mystical before feeling awe. That's the old motto: waiting for cause before experiencing effect. Reality works differently. Feel gratitude, and healing begins. Feel worthy and abundant, and wealth starts forming. Feel empowered, and success draws near. Fall in love with life, and life responds. Feel all, and the mystical shows up. This is creating from the inside out, causing the effect. Let me introduce you to your greatest asset, the master key to success: applied faith. With it, you tap the power that created you and sustains the universe. Most people are trapped by 4 horsemen, poverty, fear, illiteracy, and superstition. But applied faith overrides them all. You don't have to be the smartest person in town to make a lot of money. Plenty of wealthy people aren't geniuses, but they have mindset, persistence, and the willingness to learn. The top 1% earn most of the money because they multiply their time through multiple streams of income. They don't depend on one stream, they build many. The goal isn't to count your streams, it's to keep creating more. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Here it is. To change a belief about yourself, you must decide with so much intention that the power of that decision overrides your old mental programs and your old emotional conditioning. Your body must respond so completely that the moment you decide becomes a moment you never forget. Someone once said, "If all the money in the world were divided equally among everyone, it would soon end up back in the same pockets." Success is something you attract by the person you become, not something you chase. The real question is never, "What am I getting?" It's, "What am I becoming?" Those who rise above circumstances do it by embodying new qualities. It's not about the wealth, it's about who you become on the way to it. Most people misuse faith. They believe in illness, lack, fear, and failure just as easily as they could believe in possibility. Ask yourself, how would an abundant person think? Write it down. Fire and wire those thoughts into your brain until they become the new program. Then ask, how will I be today? How would an abundant person behave? Before touching your phone, close your eyes and rehearse it: your walk, your breathing, your smile, how you greet people, how you handle traffic, how you show up at dinner. If you're present, your brain doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. They refuse to let logic chain them. Greatness never comes from logic alone. A fighter discovered that when he looked into the mirror and spoke with absolute conviction, believing no one could beat him, that belief became his reality. Through preparation and mindset, he felt untouchable. If you aim above mediocrity, you must learn to act on your own initiative. Success is something you must achieve for yourself, not because someone tells you how. Two types of people never become much: those who cannot take instruction, and those who cannot do anything without instruction. Remember, imagination is everything. You become what you imagine. The universe listens to your thoughts and says, "All right, you can have that." Then it begins arranging the pieces. A sincere, positive declaration starts shifting reality in ways you never anticipated. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. As soon as the mind says, "I'm doing this," the body finds a way. When the mind is already there, the body follows. People die long before their bodies stop breathing. They die the day they start saying no to life. They make excuses to others and themselves. They stay in dead-end jobs for years. They lose the love of their life because she couldn't stay with someone who refused to live his. Some people think, "This is nonsense. He won't do what he says." But then the results show up because a committed person feeds off the pressure. He loves it. It fuels him. There is no better feeling than declaring what you will do and doing it. It's simple. Say what you're going to do, then go do it. When you talk constantly about poverty and lack, you're giving your mind instructions to attract more of it. Whatever the mind dwells upon, it begins to draw in. Success begins with a definite purpose, a clear mental picture of what you want. Some people possess an unshakable belief in their ability to manifest. What looks like insane belief to others is just clarity. They see themselves as creators, each moment pregnant with the next. A well-known actor wrote himself a check for $10 million dated 5 years in the future. He carried it as a reminder of who he was becoming, and he grew into it. When people pray with full belief, believing they already have what they ask for, they enter the state where creation begins. Is that so hard to believe? We already trust the sun to rise, the tides to move, the food to digest, and we don't know how any of it works. Belief is natural, and through belief, life responds. It sounds too good to be true until you try it. The body is so objective that it believes whatever emotional state you sustain. If you feel abundant, the body thinks it's living in abundance right now, and you're no longer separate from what you desire. You stop asking, "Why hasn't it happened yet?" Because abundance cannot coexist with lack. Hold elevated emotion long enough, and you pull the future toward you. To change your personal reality, you must change your personality. Nothing changes until you do. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. The secret, the law of attraction, has changed countless lives. At its core lies a simple truth: the most resilient parasite in the world is an idea. A powerful, contagious idea. Once it takes root in the mind, it becomes almost impossible to eradicate. An idea fully formed, fully understood, embeds itself deep in the subconscious, and from there, it begins shaping reality. Anything can be achieved, and achieved quickly, when someone puts their head down, works relentlessly, believes ferociously, and speaks their intentions with confidence. When a person declares their desires boldly, without fear or hesitation, life begins to rearrange around that conviction. A champion becomes a champion because he thinks about his vision more than anything else. What he thinks about most of the time, he becomes. That is the strangest secret. This is why thought matters. This is why goals matter. Because human beings grow into the images they hold. Those who set goals consistently achieve them. The real challenge is not achievement, it's establishing the goal in the first place. Many people begin with a broken belief about themselves. I'm not worthy. I'm not lovable. I'm destined to fail. A mistaken belief becomes the foundation of a personality. And the mind works in images, that's its creative language. When the brain slows into the alpha state, the door between conscious and subconscious swings open. The analytical barrier softens. In alpha, the operating system becomes accessible. This is where new programs can be written, where new scripts can be rehearsed, where behaviors can be redesigned with intention. Some people relax deeply enough that the body drifts toward light sleep while the mind stays awake. This is the theta state: hypnotic, suggestible, powerful. In theta, change happens faster than anywhere else. A person can literally transform from the inside out once they learn how to enter this operating system. Every human being is a creator. Most never realize it, but they've been creating their life all along through the thoughts they feed themselves. It isn't the thought that's powerful, you are powerful. And when you focus on a thought and hold it firmly, it manifests. Faith is limited only by your capacity to believe. Anyone can do whatever they truly decide to do. There was a man who believed he could give the world a practical philosophy of success, a philosophy that would free millions from fear and limitation. He held that belief for more than 20 years. Through relentless effort, that belief came true. Emerson put it simply: do the thing, and you shall have the power. Or in even simpler form: believe, and you shall receive. Your life becomes whatever you shape through your mental attitude. There is no limit to what you're capable of once you raise your vibration. Opportunities appear everywhere as if the world has been waiting for you to wake up. One of the greatest lessons the successful learn is the power of the mind. The importance of seeing yourself with high regard. Of believing deeply in yourself. To create a bright future, you must first see it clearly in your mind. You must believe in it. And as that belief strengthens, your world reshapes itself until your beliefs step out of imagination and into physical reality. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. A person attracts into their life what they are, not merely what they want. They attract according to the capacity of their inner source. Life gives back who you are, not what you chase. If someone is building a business, writing a book, or chasing a vision, there is no room for negative thoughts. The mind cannot entertain doubt like, this won't sell. I won't get clients. Your mental attitude is fully within your control. Self-discipline is required until new positive patterns take hold. A strong mental attitude becomes a magnet that attracts the circumstances that build your future. Even in hard times, you can walk with the inner feeling of success, carrying yourself as if you're already abundant. The key questions are always: am I able? Am I willing? With courage and commitment, you can turn fantasy into fact. You must be willing to face ridicule, failure, and the price of manifestation. Your imagination is the most powerful creative force you possess. Most people use it against themselves, imagining fear, poverty, and limitations. But imagination, used correctly, can create anything. The principle is simple. Speak it. Believe it. Receive it. Focus your energy into the universe with clarity and intention. What you call forth begins to manifest. Control what you can. Your mind. Your words. Your actions. Trying to change external results without transforming the internal world is like trying to change your reflection in a mirror without changing yourself. Impossible. Thoughts shape perception. Perception shapes reality. Set a goal that stretches your mind, because the value lies in who you must become to achieve it. Self-discipline is the foundation of wisdom, peace of mind, and fulfillment. Most people fail to change their reality because they do not believe they can. Your focus returns to you in the form of your experience. A life lacking joy and abundance is the result of a focus lacking joy and abundance. Faith is not something external you must go find, it is something internal you must direct properly. Most directed toward fear. Few directed toward purpose. Faith guides action, it does not magically create, but it drives you toward what you intend to manifest. Thought is a form of perception combining memory, sensation, and imagination. This shapes your experience and determines what you notice and what you attract. If a person decides they will be poor, they will be. If they decide to be rich today, who can stop them? If they choose abundance, nothing can block it. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. The most interesting story in the world is why a person becomes who they become. Experts estimate most people use only about 5% of their real potential, some say as little as 1%. This means most people experience only 5% of the joy, the fun, the peace, the rewards available to them. All experts agree, every person contains reservoirs of ability, even genius, that remain unused. So why isn't everyone successful? Because most people play the world's least rewarding game, the game called follow the follower. Whatever the majority is doing the opposite often saves you from a lifetime of mistakes. Never accept from life or from anyone else what you do not desire. History proves this. Gandhi showed that one person with conviction could wield more power than the greatest army on earth. Jim Rohn's mentor once taught him a lesson that shaped his life. 5 years from now, you can be who you want to be and have what you need within reason if you clearly specify it. Set a target. Write it down. Focus on it 15 minutes a day. Don't overthink. Don't self-criticize. Ask yourself, who do I admire and why? Faith is limited only by your capacity to believe. You can achieve whatever you commit to. Belief held firmly and acted upon consistently produces results. Your income, Rohn explained, is governed by the law of compensation, which says your money is proportional to 1. The need for what you do. 2. Your ability to do it. 3. The difficulty in replacing you. What you have at any moment reflects who you've become. Your circumstances mirror your values, habits, and growth. Taking responsibility is essential. Blaming the market or blaming others accomplishes nothing. If someone is broke, pennies in the pocket, debts on the table, promises unkept, it's because they have attracted those circumstances through who they've become. The good news? Change the person inside, everything outside changes. Success begins with using the mind properly, not being controlled by it. An abundant person behaves differently. They don't complain about money. They don't judge those who have it. They don't act from scarcity. They don't cheat when things get tight. Breaking old habits is mandatory. To become abundant, you must stop acting in ways that contradict abundance. Now here's the big one. If you want to become a new person with a new reality, you cannot take lack with you. You cannot carry unworthiness, or the old stories inherited from parents, grandparents, exes, or anyone else. That story must end, if not now, when? A poverty mindset is believing that you are the problem. When I was young, I never believed I was poor. I believed our situation was poor. I reached a point where I refused to stay there. There was nothing wrong with me. You can have more than you have because you can become more than you are. Success is not something you chase, it is something you attract by the person you become. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you can earn a living, that's fine. If you work hard on yourself, you can earn a fortune, that's extraordinary. I began learning these ideas at age 25. They revolutionized my life. Here is the principle that separates success from failure. Successful people across all fields share one thing above all else: the capacity for belief. Failures stare at the hole in the donut and forget the donut around it. Successful people see both. They believe, they keep believing, and they behave as though they already live what they believe. Another critical principle: ask, believe, receive. Most people choke on the word how. You don't need to know how it will happen. Want it badly enough, the how will reveal itself. How do you keep your vision alive? Disconnect from your environment. Close your eyes. Play music. When it's time to act, act. Don't obsess over what might happen today. Focus on who you choose to be today. Growth feels invisible until suddenly it looks like an overnight success. But nothing is overnight. It's the accumulation of small internal victories, stacked day after day. People pay thousands to hear speakers, but they only walk away transformed if they internalize one thing: belief shapes destiny. Belief determines whether someone becomes psychic or blind to possibility. It determines whether they see opportunity or see only obstacles. And every major breakthrough in history started with someone who believed fiercely before anyone else did. Every person on earth has far more potential than they ever use. Yet most wake up, drag themselves through routines, go through motions, and never tap the reservoirs of power buried inside. They treat life like something happening to them rather than something happening because of them. But the truth is simple. You can have anything you want and be anything you want if you think the right thoughts. Control your thinking, you control your destiny. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. People say they want success, but they want it without discomfort, without sacrifice, without self-discipline. They want the rewards without the work. They want the glory without the grind. Life doesn't work that way. When you wish to change your life, the first step is to understand that thoughts are things. Thoughts create pictures. Pictures evoke feelings. Feelings become behavior. Behavior creates your results. This is the chain. Break it at the wrong place, and nothing changes. Strengthen it at the right place, and everything changes. Your mind is your workshop. Feed it nonsense, it produces nonsense. Feed it vision, it produces miracles. One young man decided he would rewrite the story of his life. He saw himself as intelligent, capable, worthy, and destined for greatness long before there was any physical evidence. People laughed at him. People doubted him. But he kept believing. Years later, the world called him a genius. The belief came first, the genius came second. The subconscious mind does not argue. It does not judge. It accepts whatever dominant thought you feed it and works endlessly to turn it into reality. When you carry an image of success inside, the subconscious works day and night to help you express it. When you carry an image of failure inside, the subconscious works day and night to deliver that, too. Whatever dominates the mind becomes life. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who will stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Everything that exists began in someone's mind. Every building, every business, every invention, every piece of art, every movement, every revolution. It was all once just thought until someone backed that thought with belief, emotion, and relentless action. The universe responds to clarity. It responds to conviction. It responds to faith directed with intention. When you think abundant thoughts, abundance begins looking for you. When you think weak thoughts, weakness finds you just as easily. When you think strong, empowered, grateful thoughts, the world rearranges to match your internal vibration. This isn't philosophy, it's results. If you want to change your life, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What do I want? 2. Why do I want it? 3. Who must I become to have it? The person you are now cannot take you where your future demands you go. You must shed your old identity, the one formed from past mistakes, insecurities, and fears, because that identity is not equipped for the next chapter. To become a new person, you must stop rehearsing the old story. Stop reminding yourself of past failures. Stop wearing labels given to you by others. Stop carrying the weight of who you used to be. The new life requires a new mind. The moment you elevate your thoughts, you elevate your life. When you build a powerful self-image, not arrogance, but quiet inner certainty, the world reflects that image back to you. As within, so without. You become rich inside long before you become rich outside. You become strong inside long before you become strong outside. You become successful inside long before success shows up in your reality. Inner wealth comes first. Outer wealth follows. There is no limit to what a human being can accomplish when belief is stronger than fear, when faith is stronger than doubt, when purpose is stronger than excuses. The real battle is always internal. Once you win inside, the outside folds easily. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Every great life begins with a decision. I will no longer be who I was. I will become who I am capable of being. I will not shrink to fit the world will expand to fit me. Your dominant thoughts are seeds. Plant weeds, you get weeds. Plant vision, you get destiny. It's law. It's cause and effect. People who rise from nothing, people who rewrite the script of their life, always share one thing in common. They believed fiercely when no one else did. They held a picture of their future so tightly that the world eventually had no choice but to match it. Believe you are capable. Believe you are worthy. Believe you are becoming. Believe you are destined. And behave accordingly. This is how you change your life. This is how you change your world. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. You must understand something fundamental. Human beings do not decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. That's the truth most people never want to face. People think their future is determined by luck, timing, talent, the economy, their family, their past. No. Your future is shaped by the rituals you practice daily. What you do consistently creates who you become inevitably. If you want a new life, you need new habits. You cannot think like yesterday and expect tomorrow to look different. You cannot act like your past and expect a new identity to emerge. Change your routine, you change your destiny. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Every successful person has two lives. The one the world sees, and the one they fought for in silence. People see the results, not the nights of doubt, the months of struggle, the years of inner work. They see the confidence, not the battles fought alone. They see the success, not the failures stacked like bricks beneath it. They see the courage, not the fear that had to be mastered. Greatness happens in private long before it shows up in public. Your environment shapes you. Your friends shape you. Your conversations shape you. Your habits shape you. Your mindset shapes you. If you want to transform, sometimes you have to disconnect from what surrounds you. Silence the noise. Shut down the distractions. Escape the gravitational pull of the average. You are not meant to blend in, you are meant to break out. The average person is trapped by what they see. But leaders, creators, visionaries, warriors, they live by what they imagine. They live from the inside out, not the outside in. They hold an inner picture so clearly that the outside eventually molds itself to match. This is not delusion. This is intention. This is spiritual physics. This is the mechanism behind all achievement. The person who becomes wealthy long before the money arrives. The person who becomes fit in their mind long before their body changes. The person who becomes confident on the inside long before anyone else believes in them. Inner transformation precedes outer transformation. If you want to rise, you must believe that you can rise and then behave in accordance with that belief. Belief without behavior is fantasy. Behavior without belief is struggle. But belief mixed with behavior? That's unstoppable. Everything begins with a decision. I am done living below my potential. I am done repeating my old story. I am done blaming circumstances. I am done accepting less than I'm capable of. When you make a true decision, a decision that resonates in your soul, the world shifts under your feet. Reality begins rearranging itself. Pathways open. Ideas come. People show up. opportunities emerge. That's what happens when intention becomes identity. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who will stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim too low and hit. Set a goal so big it scares you. A goal so bold it forces you to grow. A goal so powerful you can't achieve it with your current mindset, you must level up to match it. That's the purpose of goals. Not to get more but to become more. Not to impress others but to transform yourself. Make your goals demand a new version of you. Make them pull greatness out of you. Listen closely. You cannot escape a prison if you do not know you are in one. The greatest prison is the prison of your own mind. The walls are built from doubt, fear, excuses, and limiting beliefs. The door is locked by your past identity. But the key? The key has been in your hand the entire time. Change your thought, change your world. Change your self-image, change your destiny. No one can imprison a person who has freed their mind. The reason people stay stuck is not because they are weak. It's because they don't believe they deserve more. Unworthiness is the real poverty. A broken self-image is the real limitation. But the moment someone realizes they are worthy, everything changes. They stop settling. They stop apologizing. They stop shrinking. They stop waiting. They stop playing small. They begin becoming. They begin attracting. They begin rising. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who is going to stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Life will never give you what you wish for. It will give you what you are willing to become. Success is not about being lucky. It's about being prepared for the moment when your opportunity appears. Luck is simply preparation meeting opportunity. And the best preparation is inner work, building the mindset, discipline, courage, and identity required for the life you want. Many people pray for success while behaving like the person who fails. They ask for abundance while walking in scarcity. They ask for love while treating themselves with self-contempt. That contradiction is why their life doesn't change. You cannot pray for one thing and behave like the opposite. Your inner world must match your intention. When thought, emotion, and action align, manifestation becomes inevitable. When you were born, you had infinite potential. You came into this world with no fear, no doubt, no limitations. You were taught those things. They were programmed into you. You can unlearn them. You can return to your original power, the power to imagine, believe, and create. That child is still inside you, waiting, watching, ready to rise again. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. If you decide to be rich today, who will stop you? Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.